The Mizutsune gear all got buffed with the summer update in Monster Hunter Wilds. We were giving a bunch of Super Soakers as part of our summer update. And the Super Soakers, though they're a fun lobby activity, have a secret hidden within them that helps out the Mizutsune gear. We can see here a build that I made. I'll go through it all with you. But the main thing here is a skill on the weapons from Mizutsune called Slicked Blade, which at max level gives you affinity plus 9% when wet and 21% more when you're afflicted with Bubble Blight. And when Mizutsune came out, we also had the Mizutsune armor, which automatically gives you Bubble Blight with Mitsuzune's prowess here. The Bubbly Dance buff will give you the Bubble Blight for the 21% affinity. But we don't have a consistent way to keep our character on the wet status for the extra 9%. Well, that's all changed. The Super Soaker, when you shoot your friends with them, will provide the wet status to those people that you shoot, which also triggers the Slick Blade ability. And this is really cool for the Mizutsune weapons because the Mizutsune weapons on their own have a massive affinity potential on them. At their base form, they've got 15% affinity. And when you've got the Bubble Blight plus wet status, you get another 30%. That's 45% affinity all by itself with no extra stats added to it, no jewels added to it. This weapon here is running critical element and critical boost on the build. So it's not increasing affinity, it's just adding effects for when we land criticals. And we could supercharge our affinity on just the Mizutsune weapons by swapping out these jewels for critical eye instead. I just went for more of an elemental route. If we do that, plus our armor skills, and we add a bunch of skills that up our affinity, like Weakness Exploit. Weakness Exploit gives you 50% on its own when you're attacking a wounded part at level 5. So that just leaves us with a little bit of affinity left to gain, which I got through Agitator. The helmet I'm wearing plus the one Challenger Jewel is giving us Agitator 2, and that gives us 100% affinity. But there's some caveats, because we're not at 100% affinity all the time. We have to have the monster angry, we have to be attacking a wound, and we need to be under the wet status as well as the Bubble Blight status. But this is all easier to solve now with the release of the Super Soakers. Agitator is just throughout the hunt, and it's a small percentage affinity. Then we've got Weakness Exploit, which is just by hitting wounds. So whenever we see a wound appear in a monster, instead of popping it with our Focus Strike, we should just auto-attack it with our weapons, and we go up a ton in affinity. And now with the Super Soaker, we can shoot our friends with the Super Soaker, or have our friends shoot us when we have Mizutsune weapons on, and we get that 9%. And the last thing then is the Bubbly Dance, which with Mizutsune gear, we're able to trigger that by just dodge rolling. That's what the Mizutsune Bubbly Dance here does, is when we dodge roll a couple times, we give ourselves Bubble Blight, which is great, because then we get 21% more affinity. So I made a whole build going all in on the Mizutsune gear to see if we can do some crazy stuff with it. We've got the Weakness Exploit 5, which I said before. Burst is on the build already, which is really awesome for elemental stuff, which we're doing with Mizutsune weapons. I love Mushroom-Mancer, so I run that already by myself, but you could swap this out for more evade-centered stuff, like Evade Window would be really good here. Constitution houses with Stamina, which I'm running dual blades on this build, so Constitution's great. And with Mushroom-Mancer, when we eat Devil's Blights, we get another 2 points of Constitution added. And so it's like having 5 Constitution with Mushroom-Mancer. It's pretty great. Evade Window is awesome because we're going to be evading anyways to trigger the Bubble Blight. And so why not get some more iframes while we're in it? There's Evade Extender back here that we're using as well for just a little bit more distance when we evade. Stamina Surge I put on the build so that we have more stamina with our dual blades. And Marathon Runner is also more stamina for the dual blades. And you can easily swap out the Marathon Runner and the Stamina Surge for different weapons you're using, up to you. And then I said Agitator earlier, so that's all covered. Dual Blades is the primary weapon that I'm running on here, although Longsword I think would work really well with this build too. I would put the Stream Critical Element Jewel here if I had another one. I only own one, so I went all in on the critical boost on the Longsword instead, which probably is better on the Longsword anyways. Longsword likes affinity more than element. Dual Blades love element, so I added a bunch of water element here and then critical element to do some more damage with their elemental hits. The build works great, but you may be wondering, Tails, how do you get the wet status if you're playing solo? Well, when you're playing solo, you've got your buddy, which for me is Punchy, and you can take the Super Soaker on your cat, and he'll spray you. Look at there. We just took some wet status, and our Slick Blade triggered. You can see that our affinity's gone up 9%. Arguably, shooting your Palico in the middle of combat is very difficult, so it's not great solo. But when you're playing in a party, it's really easy to stand still with your buddy, shoot each other with the Super Soaker, and then go on for the hunt. Or if you're playing 4-player, you get more players to do that with also. The flip side of this is that you also could use the Super Soaker in a support build, which I'm not showing a support build on here, but you could check out a video linked to the description where I go over a support build. And now your support build just got better because you can always just have the Super Soaker for free. And if you got any party members who are running Mizutsune weapons, then you could just Super Soak them, and they're good to go. It's a really goofy skill. It's very fun, kind of jank, but that's what Monster Hunter's about, right? Try out the goofy stuff. We can even take it one step further with our cooking. On our cooking meal here, we can cook for a skill called Swimmer Meal, which is found at the finishing touches down at the bottom here. If we put a jeweled mullet roe in here, we get the Swimmer Meal, and the Swimmer Meal increases your attack when wet. And if you're already going for the Super Soaker build, you may as well add the Swimmer Meal on there as well to get a little bit more damage. Now, that damage is like 5 attack, which is not that much, but I'll take whatever attack I can get when I'm going for a goofy build. It adds more damage. It's nice. Now, there's no better way to test how this build works than to go into a hunt with it and see what we can do. So let's go give it a shot. Well, I'm running Elemental Dual Blades, so I picked a monster that's weak to water. We're going to fight a tempered new Udra here. And we got to start the hunt by eating some mushrooms because we got Mushroom Answer in the build. And like I said in the build before, if you're not a fan of Mushroom Answer, you can always swap that out for more evade stuff. I'm just a huge fan of Mushroom Answer, so I run it in everything. It's fantastic. We're close to the monster here, but before we start, we do want to soak our cat so that we can get our buff here. Come here, you. Yep, get those mushrooms. I'm going to shoot you. There we go. Get close to him. There we go. We're buffed. Time to get in there. Got to put our gun away. There we go. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right, we've got some affinity now, but not all of it. We're going to get some with the bubbly dance right there, which we just got, which works so well on dual blades because we're going for the perfect evades anyways. We're evading a lot to begin with because of the perfect dodge. Oh, when we have stamina. We're going to get a lot more affinity once we hit a wounded part, which we will get as the hunt progresses. But we should be at right around 40%, 50% affinity, which I can check like that. We're at 29 currently. We got to get the bubbly dance back on, and then we should be good. Ooh. There we go. There we go. And now we're at 41 with the bubbly dance triggered. And that just takes dodge rolling. We just got to dodge roll to bubbly dance. Then we'll be all set there. We're going to get all the rest of our affinity when this monster gets mad and when we form a wound and attack the wound on the monster. We're out of stamina. We got to be careful there. There we go. Regen some of that for now. Big hits. Perfect. Woo. Nice evade. All right, we lost our slick blade skill, but hitting that in combat's kind of tough solo. So we'll wait for our opening here. Once we get a knockdown or something, or it moves on. Nice. There's our bubbly dance. Perfect. Got a knockdown. I'm going to go for the damage here since we've got all of our buffs on us, except for the slick blade. Look at all those crits. Oh my gosh. We're hitting for 82 damage with a dual blade hit. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Thanks, Punchy. I appreciate that. There's a big hit. I want to focus the wound here. Hopefully we can open one up here soon. Get our stamina back. Dodge that. Perfect. There's another dodge. Woo, that was a close one. Perfect. Still waiting for any wounds to form, but this is how hunts start anyways. It's just normal hunting stuff. We'll get our wounds as the hunt progresses. And new Udra, honestly, hard to get wounds on because he's got 8 arms, you know. Ow. There we go. Big. Nice. All right, he's leaving. That's fine. Good time for him to leave. We'll sharpen our weapons here and chase him. Then when we get close to him, we'll use the Super Soaker on Punchy. All right, Punchy. Come here, buddy. It has to be done. I know you're tired. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, let's get back in there. Here we go. Bonk him. Get in here. There's the bubbly dance. I want to get fully maxed out. There we go. Now we're at 100%. We're missing the wound hit. We're at 50% affinity right now. We'll be at 100 when we hit a wound. There's a wound. So it shows 50, but when we attack that wound, we get more. Nice, Punchy. Saving my bacon here. Good job. Give me that wound over there. Okay, we're going up. Yes, perfect. And there's another wound over here. If we could get to it. All right, cut it off. That's good. That's good. There's another cut. They're all falling off now. There's bubbly dance triggered. Nice. Good dodge. Good dodge. That's a big miss. Flopping twice. Very good. Carve him up. Got in the wound. We're at 100% crit now. Very nice. Oh, that one got me. That's fine. Keep this over here. Awkward hill. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh my gosh. Second wound here. It's almost gone. Let's go riding. Whee! Nice. Very good. Very good. Now we could cap it right now, but slaying monsters is more fun. So we'll go for the slay here. There we go. Can we get over there? Oh, we just missed it. Here we go, right here. There it is. Nice. Perfect. All right, and it leaves. That's fine. We're going to carve all these up, then we'll go finish the monster. All right, this guy's on his last leg. No pun intended. We just got to shoot Punchy here, and then we'll be ready to fight him. Hey. Hey, come back. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Perfect. All right. Back in we go. Chop him up time. Here we go. Nice. Okay. Got a wound over there. We can't get to it though. Bubbly dance is activated. Woo! Big roar, big roar. Agitator's on. Oh, he's leaving. Over there. Chop, chop. Nice. Very good, very good. Huge knockdown. There it is! The Super Soaker build takes down the octopus. I really like this. It's not the most powerful build you'll ever see, but it sure is the most funny build you'll ever see. We use the Super Soaker to buff ourselves and take down an octopus. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you so much for watching today, and happy hunting.